Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as That Mom of 5 and also known as TMO5 Candle Co. And if you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you always for coming back. You are the real MVP. Yes, that's here. So anyways, I'm right here to answer all of your questions, and I'm super glad that there's not a lot. Should I be happy or should I feel as if there are not a lot of people who love me on this platform? Anyway, that's by the way. So I am right here to answer all of your questions. I did pop a post on my community asking that you should ask me a question, that I have a video I'm working on, and I also dropped a post on Instagram as well asking that you should ask me questions, and I got quite a handful of questions from both Instagram and from YouTube as well. So I've got them written out here because I don't want to keep glancing back and forth. So I thought, yes, I will bring the video all together this weekend and get it filmed because I don't want this face bit to go just like that. So without wasting much of your time, let's dive into the questions that you've asked me. Yes, keep watching. The first question says, what will you advise people just coming to UK, especially Scotland, to do to make their japa stable comparing to Canada for faster quality? So this question was asked from Instagram. I guess what I always say to people is that if you're coming anywhere in the United Kingdom, especially if you have a family, especially if you have a young family, I would say that you should ensure you make your way to Scotland, because I felt that Scotland, if you have a young family, Scotland is the city for you to raise them, because one, Scotland is cheaper to live as compared to other places, and everything is just fully accessible for you. There's not a lot of like competition when it comes to like job seeking, so you can always, like I always said, if you want a certain job and you want it, all you have to do is just work towards getting that job done, and then it will be yours. So in terms of Japa as well, if you are coming and you don't have anyone here already, I will always say this as well: ensure you're coming in the most legit way. When I say in the most legit way, because we hear stories of people who came into the UK and they're struggling one way or the other. So endeavor to make your way into the UK through the most legit way. And if you plan coming in as a student or through other sorts of visas, ensure you make a future arrangement in terms of your accommodation. Don't leave your accommodation till the last minute, because even being a resident in Scotland, I'm searching for accommodation like no man's business. Talk more of somebody who is just coming. So always endeavor to plan your accommodation in advance. Like make sure it's going to be readily available for when you arrive with your family. And lastly, in terms of comparing, because in terms of faster quality, so progression when it comes to some sort of visas, I don't know. However, the journey I took is totally different, and if you ask me if I will advise anybody to do that now, I will lay all the options on the table for you, and I will not tell you to do it, and I will not tell you not to do it. If you watch my previous video or a collaboration I did with that Niger girl, I explained how I embarked on the asylum system, and it was through that system that I got my settlement in the UK. So if you ask me now, oh, should I go through that means, just like I said, I will place all the options on the table for you, and that decision is up to you to make for yourself. So I hope that answers your question. So the second question I got was, love your hair. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've been rocking this hair at work, and the kind of attention this hair has been getting here, in fact, I don't think I will rock it longer than this. I think this length is just the absolute best for me. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And your question goes to us, what area of nursing do you work at the moment? So I am a recovery nurse at the moment. As you all know, I qualified as a nurse last year September, and I started my band 5 job straight away. So my job role is a recovery nurse, and my job consists of working with theaters, working with anesthetist. So just a short summary of what I do in a day. So I start my day at 7 in the morning, and I go up to the wards to get whatever patient that the theaters have called for. So if it's an orthopedic theater, if it's an orthopedic patient who wants to have a knee or a hip operation, I go onto the ward, ensure I've got the right patient check all the paperwork is correct, and I escort the patient down to pre-op. While they're in pre-op, we check all of their basic observations, ensure they are all right, check the paperwork are in place, and then the anesthetist and the theater teams come in to take the patient. So the patient goes in, and what we're just doing is waiting for the surgery to be over. We get a call from the theater to say the patient is coming out. We recover the patient. As long as the patient is comfortable, we get them back to the ward. So that kind of like goes on and on and on the entire day. So that's why I said I'm a recovery nurse. So I hope that answered your question. So the third question I got was, how did you manage to pursue a career in spite of raising 5 kids without help? So this question was from YouTube. Looking back now, if I was ever told that this journey was going to be easy, nah, I was never told it was going to be easy. And me managing a career, I guess it depends on, I mean, I've always knew from when I was a young teenager that I want to have a career, I want to have a job of my own, I want to be independent. I don't want to be dependent on anybody, because obviously watching my dad worked all his life. My mom had to stop working because the company she was working with kind of like, you know, lay off all of their staff, so my mom couldn't go back to work, so she was just kind of like a full housewife. And seeing my mom being a full housewife, I knew I didn't want that for myself. I want to be able to afford things for myself. I want to be able to travel the world. I want to be able to see things, and I felt being a full housewife will not accord me that. So me raising 5 kids in the UK, I won't say I did not get help. My husband is my backbone. I mean, obviously is their father, is the 5 of all of them. So because some people were gossiping that, oh, maybe all of our kids are not from the same man. You're hearing it from this horse's mouth. I gave birth to all 5 kids through one man. Yeah, you heard that. So like I said, my husband was and is still my backbone. We both brought these kids into the world, and we just both knew that is our responsibility. I mean, when you came abroad, we all hear all of these horror stories, like if you don't look after your kids, they might take your kids away from you. So it was hard. Like when they were much younger, it was really hard. At some point I was like, how did I end up having 5 kids? Because my plan was 3, 2 boys and a girl, or 2 girls and a boy, but I guess God just wanted me to be a mom of 5 kids. So looking back now, will I have 5 kids again? No. But it was quite hard. It was not easy at all. And like I said, my husband was and is still my backbone, and I don't think I would have been able to do it without him by my side. I wouldn't have been able to do it on my own. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. And the fourth question I had was, how do you manage your home without help? Not easy raising 5 kids. And this was from YouTube as well. Yeah, it was, like I said with the previous question, it was not easy raising 5 kids, but however, I guess I know they are my responsibility. I brought them into this world, so I guess I have no choice but to look after them, to care for them. And how did you manage your own without help? Like I said, I was not without help. My husband was with me, and I would say when I was bringing up the kids, there were some things that my husband was not doing there, which he has actually started doing now. So when I said it was not doing there, in terms of like, you know, helping with house chores, cooking, doing laundry, when I was reading these kids up, my husband was not doing all of that. I was practically the one doing all of that. And even then, I would say I was not working then, but I was still studying. So I guess I can't like have enough time on my hands to be able to do all other chores while looking after the kids. But all of those things that I said my husband was not doing them, trust me, he is doing it now. My husband is cooking, is putting all the clothes in the washing machine, is hoovering, is doing all of that. The only thing he won't do is go shopping, because if they tell my husband that a loaf of bread is £5, my husband will pay £5 for it. So yeah, that's how I've been able to manage. So I hope that answers your question. So number 5 question was, how was it like raising 5 kids in the UK without no help? Like I said, it was hard, it was difficult. Thinking back now, will I have 5 kids anymore? No, I wouldn't have 5 kids. And like I said, my husband was and is still my backbone. We both stood together because we brought these kids into the world. They are our responsibility, and we just have to ensure that we look after them. And then the second question was, what motivated you to study nursing? So what motivated me? I guess I have quite a few answers to that. So the first reason that let me say 2, let me say 3 reasons that, or 3 things that made me go into nursing. So one was the fact that worked in retail for so many years. I never enjoyed it and I left. So the first job I got after that was a care home job, because I was just desperate to get another job straight away. So I worked in a care home, and by the second week I just didn't like the way some staffs were treating some of the residents. And every time I make an attempt to go talk to somebody about it, I was threatened. I was like, if you speak to anybody about it, we will do this to you, we will do that to you. So for me, knowing that there's no way I can stay in such environments, I was like, you know what, I really need to do this in a professional way. In a professional way, if I see anybody doing this, I'll be confident to come forward and speak against it. So that was the reason why I went into nursing. I really want to do it in a professional way, so that if I see anything that shouldn't be happening, then I know I'll be covered for speaking up about it. And the second reason why I decided to go into nursing was that at some point in my life, one of my child had a major surgery, and that major surgery, if I were to be back home in Nigeria, it will have cost millions, and I wouldn't have been able to afford it, and I would just be watching that my child suffer for no reason of his own. However, from treatment to when he was diagnosed to when he had the surgery to his aftercare, I hold it up to the NHS, I hold it up to the healthcare system. And I was just like, you know, I saw the way all the nurses, all of the consultants, I saw the way they looked after my son, and I was just like, what other way can I give back? Hence why I pushed when I started my nursing degree. And the third reason that kind of like motivated me into studying nursing was that I came into this country, I had 4 of my kids without any issues. No issues. At some point I could have lost my life when I had one of them, but I am here telling the story. So those are my 3 reasons why I went into nursing. And the last question by the same person was that, where did you learn your candle business? Well, I've always loved burning candles right from when I was in Nigeria. And then when I got here and I realized that you can actually buy them, and then every penny I have, I'll go into all this shop and buy the cheaper ones. And then once I started working and I had my own money, if I go shopping, I would buy some candles. And then lockdown came, and there was a lot of, you know, activities you can do online, and there was an advert about making candles, and I was like, what? I can make candles? That was how it started. So me starting to practice, me starting to test started immediately after lockdown started. So that was how I started my candle making business. I hope that answers the questions. Right, next question is, how old were you when you met your husband? I was just about to turn 18. I was 17 when I finished secondary school, and it was just in the run-up to me turning 18 that I met my husband. Yeah. And the next question is, this is a cheeky one. What's your body count? How many X's? Well, nil body count and nil X's. So 0 body count and 0 X. Yeah, I'm a good girl. And the next question says, what beauty items do you always have in your handbag? No thought about it. Moisturize and moisturizer. Like my hands are always ashy, maybe because I use my hands a lot. Like I'm washing dishes, I'm doing stuff, my hands are always ashy. So if you look at my handbag, one thing I will not leave the house without is my hand moisturizing cream. Yes, it is a must. I must have that in my handbag. And the next question is, who is your style inspiration? Who is my style inspiration? I don't need to think about this. And my style inspiration is Dr. Folashade Okoya. I love her dress sense. Like, she's sophisticated. She's a mama of 4, I believe, and she's married to the Okoya family. She's just sophisticated. Like, every time when I'm scrolling to her page, I'm like, wow. You know, her style, her elegance, what she stood for, her kids, you know, just everything about her, just, you know, ginger me. Like, wow, I see me in this lady. So yeah, that's my style inspiration. And the second to the last question says, what kind of music are you into? So I'm into several genres of music. So I listen to gospel, alujo, like some Fuji based gospel songs by Ima OMG, I think that's his name. I found him sometimes last year, and every time I'm in the car or I'm at home, is tumba. Somebody give for me Nico Koro, yeah, I just love his songs. Like his gospel, he has taken gospel song into another level, so I love that song. And when I'm in my own moment, I love R&B songs as well. I know that some people who says they don't listen to worldly music, they don't listen to songs like that, but it depends on what mood I am in. I listen to R&B, I listen to rap, I listen to pop, and most of all I listen to gospel music. So most of the time in my early mornings, maybe when I'm chilling in my bedroom in the afternoon, it just depends on my mood anyway. So I'm into lots of genres of music. So the last but not the least question is, what is your dream job? Dream job. You might, in case you don't know, my first degree was information technology, and I never get to work one day with that certificate. And then now I am a nurse. Would that be the end of my career? No, I still want to progress. So I would love to be a specialist nurse in cardiac, because I had a placement in the cardiology ward and I really love my time in there. I learned so many things, and me wanting to specialize, I might not specialize where I'm currently working, because there are a few things that I've noticed there and it might not sit well with me. So I might probably have to go into another hospital and specialize in that. So I would love to be a specialist cardiac nurse, and if I don't do that, I might probably end up in the community as an health visitor, because I just love being in the community, working with mothers and working with children. So those are the two, progression for me. So I think that answers what my dream job will be. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's it. So anyway guys, this is the end of me answering all of your questions that you've sent me. I hope I've answered your question. I hope they are clear enough. And if you think it's still what means to answer more questions, pop them in the comment section below. And if you are yet to subscribe to my channel and you've watched me answer all these Tatafo questions and you have still not answered, you have still not decided to press the subscribe button, like what are you waiting for? Don't you want to see this face anymore? Anyway, to cut the long story short, don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe to my channel if you are yet to do so, turn on the post notification so you don't miss any videos from me, and also don't forget to share this lovely video. Share, don't be stingy. Share, and also join my membership, and I hope to catch up with you in my next video. All right, bye.